I'm sorry, Celtics fans. Jayson Tatum is trying to turn into Kobe, but not in a good way. Kobe is disputed as being one of the greatest of all time, and is among the NBA Top 75 list. Most of the time when a player is compared to him, it's an achievement. Well, that's when the player can actually play like Kobe. Jayson Tatum is acting like Kobe. Ever since he was drafted, Jayson Tatum has been the star player for the Celtics. The problem is now Tatum thinks he can do everything, and it only gets worse after his best game. Jayson Tatum's 60-point game. Tatum was on top of the world. He even recreated Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point picture. However, after this, Tatum began to take over the reins even more than he previously had. Much like Kobe, he decided the ball was better in his hands than someone else's. There are plenty of memes about Kobe being a ball hog in order to get wins. Meta World Peace has the famous post-game interview of him yelling,
Kobe wanted to win, and he didn't know if he can win probably with us at that time. And he wanted to win as a team, though. He was not going off on his own. Today, yes, he came back game 6 and he played with us. And today he wanted to win. He didn't want to lose. That's what you saw. You saw a determined Kobe Bryant, Black Mamba, 2-4 who wanted to win. But it wasn't with the team. Later in the second half, he started to move the ball and attack and pass. And still, it was Kobe Bryant, And he trusted us, and he made us feel so good. And he passed me the ball. He never passed me the ball. And he passed me the ball. Kobe passed me the ball. And I shot a 3.
Basketball Forever also has an article describing Tatum having a workout with Kobe Bryant, in which Bryant told him, quote, "Shoot it every time. Pass if you have to, but if not, shoot it." Except, Tatum's not Kobe. Kobe Bryant is just a different breed, and if we look at Tatum's stats since his 60-point game, we can see his assists are only decreasing, with most of his games after April 30th being in the bottom of his assist stats. Also, he is taking much tougher and riskier shots, with his 3 points attempted after April 30th being higher than it was before as well. But in this early start to the season, he's averaging only 27% from 3. You heard that right, 27%. He's making Ben Simmons look like Steph Curry. After an embarrassing loss to the Bulls, Marcus Smart had this to say.
Only so much I could do without the ball in my hand. I just sit and stand in the corner. We run in plays for our best players. Every team knows that. They do a good job of shutting that down. And, we can't allow that. When they shut that down, we can't keep trying to go to those guys. We got to, abort that and, find another way to get them the ball in the spots that they need the ball. And like I said, for me, I can only do so much with just standing in the corner or when I come up and give the ball away. So, I do everything I can on the other end to try to combat that. I try to talk. I try to, make the plays, get those guys the ball where they need it, where they want it. Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of kind of trying to target mismatches and go to the post or isolation for JB and JT. Would you rather kind of stick with the more complex plays in the crunch time and try to just find that flow?
I would just like to play basketball. Every team knows we're trying to go to Jayson and Jaylen. And every team is programmed and studied to stop Jayson and Jaylen. I think everybody's talent court is make those guys try to pass the ball. They don't want to pass the ball. And that's something that they're going to learn. They're still learning, and we're proud of the progress they're making, but they're going to have to make another step and find ways to not only create for themselves, but create for others on this team, to open up the court for them later down in the game where they don't have to always take those tough shots or take tough matchups when they do get the one-on-one and then you bring in the track. Just reading that. It's something that, we've been asking for them to do, and they're learning, So we just got to continue to help those guys do that and help our team.
We'll wrap it up right there. Thank you, Marcus.
Yep. Thank you. Come on.
That's something he may talk to us at the start of the year. He said, Marcus came to me and said, I want the ball in my hands more. Is that something you kind of want to, speak to him about again? And how do you think you can kind of help and make a difference with more responsibilities.
I think, when I'm getting in the lane and, I'm making it easier for those guys. I'm making it easier for everybody. Even though my shot's not falling, the threat that I put on, teams coming off the screen roll or getting to the basket, or even me in the post. Teams aren't doubling me in the post. And if they do, everybody knows I'm a great passer and I'm a fun guy. So just really, taking some ease off of Jayson and Jalen early on in the game and even late in the game sometimes to where they're not exhausting themselves on that offensive end, and then they're getting picked on the defensive end. Thank you, guys.
You may remember I also said in my last video that the importance of defense is on the rise, allowing the Bulls to press closer and add more contest to the offense. However, even with this in mind, Tatum is still trying to play what the NBA fans call hero ball, along with many ISO plays. This simply isn't going to work, and it's unnecessary to take these kind of shots. Use the players at your disposal. Tatum has a very high basketball IQ, but he's choosing not to use it in order to get more highlight plays for himself. Marcus Smart also pointed out an important detail I think is overlooked in this interview. He stated, "Teams are wired to go against Tatum." Obviously, as a coach, the opposing team is going to recognize who your first option is and try and shut him down. And that's when you depend on your second option to step up, where the team may be lacking a defensive strategy to handle. Except, Tatum isn't doing this. He's staying locked down, and by not passing the ball, that means the team as a whole is also locked down. Also, to speak more on defense, there's been many NBA commentators that have spoken on the fact that in the Bulls' loss, there were 0 rebounds made by the Celtics. Fight for the ball. Don't take highly contested shots, then fall back when you miss. Jayson Tatum has to learn that there are other players on this team. If you're going to act like Kobe, be able to play at his level. Otherwise, use the tools around you. There are 2 other All-Stars on the Celtics, but the team is currently 2-5. Something has to change. With the way Tatum has been playing beginning the season, without a significant stat increase, he will drag the Celtics down the conference. This, we will have to wait and see.